We are live with the Short-Term Rental Pros podcast. Yesterday, we had a really fun day, and this morning we're feeling the after effects. But I'm so thankful you guys got up and are with me here to continue sharing your guys' experience. Last time I had Matt and Laura, y'all were on about a year ago?
Yeah, I'd say about a year ago. We were down in Florida at the time.
Got it. And yeah, I know a lot's changed, so I'm excited to get the download on that. But also, thank you guys so much for flying in this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, what'd y'all think? This was the first time we did an in-person event here in Dumbo, Brooklyn. Had a bunch of amazing speakers. Patrick Swiatek, who's sitting over there. John Bianchi, Michael Chang, Frederico, all experts on their various domains. Arthur Kolker, our founder of StayFi. We ended up, hanging out with a couple other, software founders that just happen to live in New York, but really just tried to get a lot of amazing people into the same space and synergize for the day. So yeah, I would love to hear your guys' experience.
Oh, we loved it. It was action-packed, learned a lot that day, and I think it was perfect. Just the right amount of guests, the right amount of time, and really learned a lot. And it was really great to meet these people in person because we've been following them on social media for so long. So it was really great to meet everybody. And
who was your favorite?
I would say, yeah, Patrick.
Patrick's got the bullseye. All right, good. Great answer. Yeah. But actually, were there any, specific things that, obviously, we talk a lot and we've had Patrick, come in and speak with everybody. But I'm curious, were there specific takeaways you had, maybe things you hadn't heard before or things that you started to think about?
I always learn a little bit more from John Bianchi and the buy box and just learning a little bit more about that. I've taken his courses a couple of times and learned from him, but I always take something extra away every time he's here. So I really liked his presentation.
Yeah, for me, I think it was Patrick acquiring. I don't know. I'm allowed to say all this stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick's all online. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Patrick's like acquiring other management companies. I thought that was really interesting and a great way to accelerate things. And it makes sense why I put all this effort into buying or trying to find one property. It's the same amount of effort to do all these calls and find somebody who has many properties that's looking to sell their contracts. So.
Yeah, and I'll give Patrick a shout out here, not because he's sitting there, but Jeff from Host GPO. I was with him the other night at a New York City meetup, and I was telling him, John, Patrick are coming this weekend. We're doing this on Saturday, and he goes, Patrick, man, that dude just like 4 years ago just hits me up on LinkedIn like 3 times in a row, and is like, hey man, I'm just getting in the short-term rentals. Don't have any properties yet, but would love to like pick your brain about it. He's like, yeah. Eventually, we just hopped on a call. And now 3-4 years later, like he's crushing it. And like, I think I'm like Patrick is an example of like he willed and talked his reality into existence.
Absolutely. Yeah. The energy, right?
Yeah. And like, how does he get deals? He was talking yesterday, people literally come to him and say, hey, you seem like a good guy to buy our property management company, and it's just because he's talked it into existence and he talks to everybody and he doesn't shut up. I don't either too, so it's not a shot. It's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to put it out there, right?
Exactly.
If you keep it to yourself, nothing happens.
Exactly. And then you become the guy who does this. And once you become, now you're the guy who does it, and good things come from that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Got it. So yeah, and then generally, not even the speakers, but yeah, what was it like engaging with everybody who's here?
Yeah, it's great to again meet everyone because you just see everybody on Zoom calls all the time. You're not really interacting with people, so it was really a great chance to meet everybody, and we literally got the chance to interact with everyone yesterday. So and see what they were doing and what they're up to, and so it was a great experience.
Met some of the new people too, right? We hadn't really met them on the Zooms very much, so. But then, like a lot of the guys, Lori's helped a lot of the guys with like design or just all sorts of things. Some of the, especially the Canadian guys, I think I always hear her on the phone with. So it was good to meet them in person and see what they're up to and how things panned out after learning a little bit or getting some input from her.
I love the Canadian contingency we got, but also I feel like, if you look just objectively, like the Canadians are crushing it. No shots on, I'm American. I love America.
Yeah.
But I do think Canadians kind of have that, I don't want to say that, maybe that chip on their shoulder, or really it's just like, you don't take it for granted the business opportunity we have in the United States.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big difference investing in Canada versus the US. There's a lot more restrictions, especially when it comes to Airbnb. And they're really cracking down on more of a provincial level now, not just from a city level. So it's making it harder and harder to Airbnb in Canada. And we find that we love the States so much more because we're in Florida and the seasonality is so much longer. We're up in Canada, you know, if you're renting cottages, then you have really good months in the summer, but then it's kind of dead in the winter unless you're close to a ski hill or something like that. So we just like the seasonality more. It's just more predictable income. So that's why we've really liked investing in Florida.
So tell me, so give me the update. So I believe last time I had y'all on, you guys had arbitrage 2 properties in Florida. I know things have progressed. You looked into some different strategies. Give me the download.
So the first property that we arbitraged, we actually spoke with the landlord and he wanted us to co-host it once the lease was up. So that's what we did. We converted it into a co-host. So that's been a great experience as well. And he's gotten to know us, so he's given us additional properties and he's always asking us to run numbers for him because he's big on investing in Florida. So that's been a really great opportunity to work with him. We just are about to pick up another one in Lighthouse Point. In the next couple of weeks, we'll probably be heading down there to get it all set up. And yeah, we're really just looking more towards co-hosting right now. It's more, I guess, risk adverse when it comes to that. With obviously with arbitrage, you're responsible for rent and the bills every month. Where co-host, you just have, you know, just have to manage the property, right? So it's been a much better way for us to go. Yeah, we just really enjoy that much more, and the risk-free aspect is definitely more appealing to us, and it's still quite lucrative. And we really put our heart and soul into it. We really, it really shows in our 5-star reviews that we have all across the board. And I think a lot of owners are seeing that we really put a lot of care into it, and we're treating it more like a boutique type business. We're not here to have 100 properties. We just want to have, you know, maybe like 10 really good ones and manage them really well and help landlords make money or help owners make money as well.
She's so conservative. I want at least 25.
Yeah.
But
Hey, but one at a time. But I saw you guys came in Friday, and then I think you said you had a call at 4 p.m. and you closed the deal. So
Yep.
Yep.
I know we popped some champagne last night, but maybe we need to pop another bottle. But yeah, so that's your, I believe, on the U.S. side. So you guys have a U.S. operation, South Florida, and then you also have a north of the border operation as well in, you know, Lake Country. I'm sure you call it something
yeah,
specific.
it's cottage country, Ontario,
Cottage
basically.
country.
Like we just have a few cottages up there, and it's like Lori said, completely different. The seasonality is just insane in Florida. Like we've got 10 really solid months, but up there you're banking on the July and August. A little bit of June, a little bit of September, but other than that, like in the winter, some of them are 4-season cottages, so like we can appeal to snowmobilers and ice fishing and stuff like that, but it's really just going to be like 2 nights, 3 nights, weekends, maybe 1 weekend a month, something like that.
So right now you're in your peak season Canada. Slightly slower season, but the summer is still pretty active in Florida. The fall in Florida is where things, those 2 months you talked about, where things slow down. So I want to take a step back. So you guys have been in real estate as a whole for a while. I know you guys are sharing, your flipping experience, and you guys are part of different, masterminds where they cover multifamily, and like pretty much you guys have exposure of seeing like every facet of real estate under the sun. You've done arbitrage to this point. Now you're leaning more heavily into co-hosting. So walk us through not just the short-term rental pivot, but just the real estate as a whole, how you think about or see things.
Yeah, we started in like 2018. We joined this group up in Canada. It's a pretty big network it's probably closer to like 5,000 people at this.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we were really active in that group. So we started with like some flips, and actually our first one was a BRRRR, I guess. We did a duplex conversion. We still own that one to this day. But then we went into flipping during COVID because it just bananas. It was crazy. We even did like a wholesale deal where we just bought a property, waited out for a close, and then once it closed, we went in, swept it, cleaned it a little bit, no work whatsoever, put it back on the market the next day and made like $125,000 in one day's work right there. So
That's nice.
that was like our favorite deal, I think, just because of how little we had to. But then, yeah, the flipping was crazy. We were on like in the paper, all sorts of stuff. But then, of course, COVID hit, and the market started to go down a little bit, so that didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, the COVID market juiced like all the juice out of the orange, like in the shortest period of time. But then the juice isn't there. I mean, a rising tide lifts all boats, and for flipping, it's home price appreciation, right? That's really the rising tide.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. We'd go to like an open house one day and just eat lunch in our car, just laughing because there'd be like a lineup down the street of people just waiting to get into the house, like when we were trying to sell it.
Yeah,
so.
that one we had 120 showings in 4 days.
Jeez.
Yeah,
and that's what he was saying. We made the front page of the newspaper because we bought it for $430, and then we flipped it and we sold it for $850.
You swept off the front porch.
Yeah,
that one was a full. We made it into a
that
legal
was our
duplex.
first flip in COVID.
Okay.
So then that kind of fueled it for us. So what happened right before COVID, about a week before, my company went through a reorg, and so I was let go, as well as my team of 40 people and other VPs.
And you built a team of 40 people over an extended period of time, right?
Yeah, I really, I put my heart and soul into that job. So it was really soul crushing when that happened. And then when COVID hit, nobody was hiring. Like, it was just a complete freeze. But I had a year of severance, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make the best of this. And that's when we fully started getting into real estate, because we were kind of just half in it when we were working full time. So that's kind of what fueled us to go into it.
You said, I'm gonna take charge here. Like, you had given your life to a business. You had built something of real value, of real substance. And then there's 2 meetings or something? 2 board meetings, flows down. They say, hey, we need to cut something, flows down. They say, all right, that team right there, that's going to go. And absolutely no control over that.
You never think it's going to be you, because you really do put your heart and soul into it, but it happened, and it was actually a blessing in disguise. In the moment, I totally didn't think that. But after that happened, it was good. I'm thankful that COVID happened, because I would have jumped into another job right away, and everything that's happened in our real estate journey probably wouldn't have happened. So pretty grateful for that.
Yeah, and something you've been really good at, and I know I'm appreciative because you've been helping a lot of folk out, is just design. I think I think in Florida particularly, we're talking about, things are competitive. You have to make it look good. So how have you self-trained yourself, or how have you became, a designer?
It is self-training, I guess. From doing our flips, I would watch the stager and what she would do, and I just kind of learned some tips and tricks from her, and just went from there. So I didn't really take any training or any courses or anything like that. It's just been experience from doing all these flips.
And you guys have an interesting model where you'll talk to these homeowners in Florida, and you'll tell them, correct me if I'm wrong, hey, we'll get on a flight. We will fly down to you. We're going to stay in the house, help you set it up, help you design it, and then launch it, which that's a very, very boutique offering, I must say.
Yeah. Like, I think it means a lot to us to spend some time in the house, because when you're remotely managing something, anything comes up, like sometimes you don't know what to say, right? And that's a bad feeling if you don't know where something is.
This switch isn't doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the water's spewing out of a wall. Where do you turn off the water main, right? So things like that, like just everything. So it's great to spend your time in the house and set it up over the week and really get to know it. And that allows us to make a really good guidebook and all that stuff, and improves our communication with the guests.
Also probably improves your relationship with the owner, right? You meet them.
Yeah, you get to meet them, and they can see how much we put into it, right? Staying all that time. Like, they can see us sometimes on the cameras. It's 2 a.m., 4 a.m. We're walking around hustling because photos are that day, and we need to get it done by 10 a.m. So go until it's complete. So that's a bit of the flippers in us, I guess. It's always like a timeline and getting it done on time. So.
Also, we're rolling up them sleeves.
Yep.
Not taking anything for granted.
Yeah.
Working hard.
Sometimes.
And this country rewards that.
Absolutely, which is very different for us.
Yeah.
Right?
We've been very grateful, very thankful for how well it's been doing down here for us. So we're really looking to expand more.
Yeah, what would you say? So, I mean, people talk, oh, can you do this business remotely? Or hey, I have to do a house like down the road. I mean, you guys are literally, your business, it's international.
Yeah,
You guys are in another country.
Even in Canada, like we're 3 hours from the closest cottage that we manage. So it's not like we just jump in the car and go.
That's been hard for us because we're very hands-on. As you know, we're going down and actually setting up the properties. So sometimes it's frustrating because you just want to be able to run over and do something. But we've made some really great connections with a woman who's in our real estate group up in Canada. Her son actually happens to be on a scholarship here in Pompano. So,
Oh, wow.
so we use him as our runner. So he does our garbages for us. Any little tasks we have, we kind of get him to do that. So that's been a really big help because you don't think of all the little things. You think, oh, I have to have a plumber, I have to have something on file, but nobody thinks about the garbages and
The propane tanks.
the little things that just pop up every day.
Even just checking in on the cleaner's quality control, right?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty important because you don't know if they're starting to slack a little bit.
Well, last week our water bill was astronomical in Florida because somebody turned the sprinkler on to go on every day for so long, and our bill, we had like 72,000 gallons of water that month. So it's having someone to be able to run over there and like make sure they fix that, and so that we don't have that problem again next.
Yeah, it reminded me, I need to check the water bill. We all our grass died, both of the houses in Florida at the same time. I looked on the cameras, I'm like, wait, there's like no grass there. What's going on? And it turned out the sprinklers just turned off on both of them. Like your landscaper just like didn't. That's something I think we talk about Florida. Florida specific variables, people I feel like don't have as much. Like it's really hard to get a cleaner who like has that eye, for like checking, like just like noticing things that, maybe things that are outside their periphery, but like heads up.
Yeah.
The heads ups.
Yeah.
Heads up, your grass is brown and stuff like that.
Yeah, we often have to ask our cleaners, like, can you just go out and take a picture of the pool quickly? Like, we don't know how much the water's gone down and we need someone to go fill it, right? So it's like trying to train them to look for those things. So we've been doing that with our cleaners.
And that's where the young guy will come in, the guy on the scholarship, the runner, we'll send him over to like
check on everything.
Check on the pool, fill it if need be. And, like you say, the grass is dying. Why? Check on the sprinkler system.
Got it. Very cool. So, yeah, what's in store beyond? Last night I think what was in store for us was staying out pretty late. I think we had a good group staying out till probably 2 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
But what's in the store for the future for you guys?
We're really just looking to expand our co-hosted business, and we are looking more towards, having those super properties that you talked about yesterday.
Mega properties.
Yeah.
Everyone says super. I'm saying mega.
Okay,
mega. I gotta
mega.
coin my own word.
All right, coin it.
Yeah. So we do like the idea of that. Like I said, we're not really interested in having so many, smaller properties. We just want to work with, a group of good ones that are really profitable, and that would be the way that we're.
Yeah, really, really like hones in on your avatar, know, and the level of guest that stays with you, I think.
And maybe diversify a little bit because, Florida, a hurricane could wipe out our whole business if we're too concentrated in one area. So we're definitely going to look at other areas in the state as well.
Got it. Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today from, I guess, driving down. Fortunately, you guys didn't have to deal with the whole
airline.
Yeah, flight situation. Almost everybody made it, though, which I'm super grateful for. I was like, first one of these, of course, some technological glitch is going to cause nobody to be able to come. Like, obviously, come on now.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft wants us to fail. They don't want us to be in this room together.
Yeah, they must be investing in real estate or something.
Yeah, exactly.
In the STR space.
This is going to be the catalyst that takes over takes Microsoft's market share. We were about to figure out the new Microsoft Excel. Well, honestly, BNB Calc you could argue is kind of Microsoft Excel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. So where can you guys post? I'm Facebook friends with you guys. I see you posting different stuff. You help out a lot of people with direct booking websites. Or Matt, you would do that. Lori, you help out a lot of people with design. So where can folk follow your journey, and then also reach out if there's something y'all can be helpful with?
Yeah, our website is frompinestopalms.com, and we can be reached at info@frompinestopalms.com. And then there's all the Facebook stuff. You can find the links on the website.
They post non-short-term rental stuff too.
We do.
They post some fun stuff there as well. Well, beautiful. Thank you guys again, and everybody, stay tuned to the next episode of the Short Term Rental Pros podcast.